Well, as you know, Bitcoin made the move with Elon, and gold is pretty stable right now because it is controlled by the biggest guys. Silver is used by industry. It's used in batteries, Green New Deal's coming up and all this, and it's suppressed. You worked on Wall Street. It's 1,000% manipulated, and so all the shorts are holding down the price of silver because if silver goes up, the business models of Apple, Toshiba, all the electronic companies blow out the window. So they've got to suppress the price of silver. But as you know, that can only last for so long. So you don't have to go to college to save gold and silver. All I did was a kid is I just put it in a bank, and I would take $1. It was 1964. I go to the bank and I take out like $10 and I'd get a roll of dimes. And I'd go through the dimes, and anything that had copper on it, I gave it back to the bank. And I kept them on with no copper. So I had a whole pile of silver. I was a rich kid, but nobody knew it because everybody thought the dime was a dime. It was fake dimes. So it's just, it's not that hard. It's just common sense. Well, it's not really Bitcoin, it's blockchain.
Okay.
And it's a contract. And, when guys like, Peter Schiff's my friend, and he and Max Kaiser go back and forth. I don't know why to me, it's like a food fight. Max Kaiser says Peter Schiff is stupid, and Kaiser says, and Schiff says Kaiser is stupid. I always support what Yogi Berra, the great New York Yankees catcher, said.
Yeah.
When you come to a fork in the road, take it. So I'm glad I took Bitcoin when it was like $9,000.
Look at it now, almost at 45.
But I'm not buying anymore.
You're not.
And I'm not buying anymore. And I was buying gold at 300. I'm not buying anymore.
Why are you no longer buying Bitcoin? Do you not think it can go from 45 to 100 or to 500? 500,000, 400,
I'm not a speculator.
Gotcha.
You're
buying. Speak about being I assume when you buy silver, you bought and hold silver all this time. You're not selling it. Is that right?
No, I never sell.
So you buy and hold.
Like, these idiots flip real estate. Why would you do that? Get a good property. I keep it forever. Okay. Then I'm going to put my millions and millions and millions of dollars into a thing called a CRT, Charitable Remainder Trust, and I'm going to pass it into perpetuity as charity.
Mm-hmm.
Never going to spend that money, but it's going to be used as charity. I'll give it back. But most people are flipping houses. That's really stupid because you get nailed with a capital gains tax. You flip Bitcoin, you get capital gains. I just don't like paying taxes. If you ever listen to Lenin said two things that was crucial. He says you want to debauch capitalism, you want to kill capitalism, debauch the currency. And that's what Nixon did in 1971. And he says if you want to kill capitalism, tax, tax, tax. And that's what Biden's doing right now.
Tax.
So that's why what real financial education is, that sign back here says cash flow. Mm-hmm. I'm a cash flow fanatic. I want to make sure the cash is flowing in and none is flowing to the government. That's why Trump and I don't pay taxes legally. We're real estate guys.
Mm-hmm. So let's talk about real estate for a second.
Wait, hang on.
Yes, sir.
I don't think anybody understands the power of debt. And these idiots out there are telling you get out of debt. Well, debt is money. That's what happened in 1971 when Nixon took the dollar off the gold standard. So in 2008, you were probably on Wall Street at the time or something. I thought I died and went to heaven. They dropped interest rates to all-time lows, and the best real estate floated to the surface on the market. So I borrowed $300 million and bought real estate with debt. Now the average person can't do that.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I have this board game cash flow, so you can understand the way capitalists think. I don't like the stock market. I would have made billions in the stock market, except that, I do have to sleep in it. That's the thing. They should, another friend of mine, I forget his name now, but he always says live debt free.
Yeah. We know the man you're talking about, Dave Ramsey.
He's a good friend of mine. He's accurate. If you have no financial education, live debt free. But if you want to do what a real capitalist does, which is use debt and pay no taxes, because that's what happened in 1971. The US dollar became debt and it was only offset via taxes. In other words, the only way debt can be paid off is by the American taxpayer paying taxes.
Mm-hmm.
So I started studying. And so in 1973, I took my first real estate course and I never stopped. That's why I have tremendous respect for what Patrick McDavid and Value Tamer is doing, is because you guys are teaching people from the real world of money. Now, I'm not saying buy real estate or stocks or bonds or mutual funds. I'm saying please get educated and listen to real teachers. I would never tell you to live debt free. I would never tell you to invest in a mutual fund. You know how manipulated those things are. I don't trust ETFs, and bonds are the worst investment possible. But that's what everybody's getting into. So we're going to have what the Marine Corps says it's an F word. There's going to be a big one coming up soon. And that's why I wrote the book, Who Stole My Pension? Because all the bad assets are dumped in pension funds by Wall Street. You know that, I know. But the average guy doesn't. They go to school, they get a job, and they get a 401k. For most people, that's the best thing they can do if they don't want to invest in their financial education.
Zimbabwe dollars?
So why don't you save those? You use them as toilet paper. I'm being a wise ass because I'm a U.S. Marine.
I speak that language, so we're okay. Don't worry. I speak wise ass.
And most millennials, are snowflakes. They can't handle the truth, as Nicholson said in A Few Good Men. But
they can't handle it.
If you wanted to know the truth, you'd be listening to Value Tainment. That's why they come to you guys.
Mm-hmm.
And if Dave Ramsey was here, I'd agree 100% with him. If you don't have any financial education, live debt-free. But I wouldn't save dollars, I would save silver. Because silver is about to move again. But I think this is what I found when I found out about Bitcoin, was that if it's valuable, you hang on to it. And because in 71, when the Nixon took the dollar off the gold standard, there's something intuitive. Human beings, when it comes to money, are pretty smart. And they know that cash is trash. So they spend it as fast as they can. That's why there's no saving.